All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Let us jump straight into the setups. Starting off here, we're looking at the Dow yearly high low on the weekly candle picture. Sorry, is my sound all right?
How's it, Sam? Yeah, sounds fine. Our side, I hope the generator is not bugging the guys on the other side. Unfortunately, load shedding, so we've got to run that.
No, it sounds fine this side, hey.
Okay, perfect. That's awesome.
All right, so yeah, just jumping into these yearly high lows. Right now, we are trading between the 77 and the 89. We have bounced off quite hard from this 50 moving average. And that is our levels of support and resistance. If you take a look at our stochastic, or you can also see how it's made a very, very fast turnaround going back to our signal line. And we are looking at the possibility of, well, above the 61, we're looking at this 89 as a target. So only a couple points away from that, but 500 points, which is, well possible to actually even still reach that before the end of the day. 821, we didn't ever actually get those two to cross over. So they are starting to pull back from each other as it is with continuing this uptrend.
Cool. On the daily picture, monthly high low, look how we respected that 61% or the 61.8 of the FIB perfectly. So that's a 61% retracement to that whole move from high to low of last month. A break of the consolidation to the upside, we're aiming for that 89. We've got massive ranges. So you can just see the gray blocks in the last 3 months, how the ranges have increased. So we've got a huge range there to the 89. Above that level, we've got the 50 moving average to contend with. But I do like is the stochastic talking to the FIB level there. Break the 61.8, we want to go up. The signal line is a bit iffy. It's around that 50 level, a little bit consolidated, but let's see if we can get the follow through here. Moving average is still suggesting the trend is down, but let's see if we're going to get a moving average crossover. If we have another day or two green there, we should be able to get that and also give us that trigger then to belong to that 89.
All right, on our weekly high-low, we're trading between the 127 and 161.8. We did get that trigger earlier, so this is a valid long that we are still busy been in this long for about a day and a half, almost 2 days now, and it's still going strong. 8 is still above 21, we're trading well above the 50 moving average. Everything is looking good. Stochastic has broken down through its signal line. That is the only thing I'm a bit concerned with. Let's watch to see if it's going to break down through the 80. But otherwise, we do still have targets here to the top side, the 61.8, and that's about another 400 points away, which lines up perfectly with that 89 of the yearly high low. So that's basically at the same level there. So let's just give it a moment. Otherwise, if we do start coming off, we can actually change the labeling here to look for a short below that 127. And the final target will be the 100. There won't be a first target, and stop on this trade will be about just less than halfway between the 127 and 161.
Well, then,
sorry,
9 hour. Yeah, got that trigger long on the 9 hour, and then we pulled back. It hasn't stopped. I don't think we respected that 50 just yet. Got very close. It's a very tight range today. If we look at the difference today and yesterday, I think what we've got about 100 points, 100 odd points, not even to first target. That is very tight for the 9 hour, but nonetheless it's valid. It does help that the stops are a little bit tighter, but when it's tight like this, you tend to get a big spike, especially during opening, and it can take us out, but it can also go in our direction. So very, very tight there. Yeah. But the trend is clearly up beyond the hourly. We can see that we've got those outstanding targets still, but just watch that stop level. It's a very, very strong possibility. It's one of those days where the 9 hour triggers more than once.
Yeah, we need to watch that. On our daily high low, right now we're trading between that 100 and 89. We've struggled with this 100 level the whole day. Can't see triggering long, triggering short. And as it is at the moment, we're in a short trigger on our way to targets here, 77 and 61.8. Long, and we just haven't stopped out yet. So difficult levels. So focus on rather it is on the 5 minutes. Trend is down. 8 is that, and if we look at most of the day, these moving averages have been. So for me, what significance is we're finally broken down below it, and I'd like to see the 15 moving average break actually in this downtrend. Stochastic has pushed all the signal line below the 50, which is very indicative a downtrend. But that being said, it's also very oversold at the moment. Bounce here. As it is, I am looking at the 60 target. I'll break back above 100. We can look at this 127. And we are still trading below that 61.8 of the monthly. We can see that level there and how strong it is at the moment.
Almost getting back into zone one there. We just want that green moving average below the 155. Onto the NASDAQ. Oh, sorry, Sandy. Yeah.
Sorry, no.
Onto the NASDAQ. Same story there as the Dow. Coming or bouncing quite hard this week. We've still got some time for this week to see where we are, but we want to be long above that 61.8. We're aiming for that 89. That's a big stretch, but we've got plenty of time for that. Out of the consolidation, the stochastic's also broken out of the consolidation. Signal line is still way up there around the 80, 89 level. But let's see if that pushes us all the way back to that signal line and get us to that target level of 89. The trend is still down on this time frame, but starting to bounce a little bit. Let's see if we're going to get a moving average across the upside again, or if we're going to continue this trend down. Yeah, we need time. That's all.
On our monthly high low, like you say, we need time, and this shows us perfectly how we in our consolidation between 61 and 38.2, it can really go either way at this point. Long above 61 to 89, short below 38 to the 11. And it looks exactly very much like the Dow at the moment. We haven't quite had that crossover, so technically we can't confirm that the trend is up, but it is getting very close. 8 is starting to point up, 21 is starting to point up, and then we could be going back to our 50 moving average. That for me is very significant. As we're starting to push up, must watch for very strong resistance possibly coming in here at the 50 moving average. With that, stochastic has broken its own signal line. We're obviously pushing up. We are at the 50 level now, above that 50 level, above 61.8. I'll have a lot more confidence in taking the longs here on the NASDAQ. But until then, I'd like to just hold back and wait a bit.
Yeah. On our weekly high low, we reached those targets finally this morning, along with our extended ABC targets on the NASDAQ. Yeah, hit that 161. In fact, we closed above and we closed below. Tian did make the score. We didn't close, or we didn't trade much higher than that 61. So if you took that trade below the 161, we're aiming for the 127. Very tight stop there because we've got no other market price action there to use as a stop loss. And if you use the 200 there halfway, it becomes quite a risky trade, or at least the risk reward is not fantastic. So for myself, the next one, as Sam's got it labeled there, close below the 127 back to the 100. We've got no more long setups on this time frame and this strategy until we get all the way back into the bigger consolidation there.
Yeah. All right, and then on that, we can take a look at the daily high low. We are setting up for a trigger short coming up below this 100 candle close break previous candle low. First target will be 77, final target will be 61. With that, we can also confirm that the trend is down according to our stochastic, as we are below our signal line, and we're pushing we're way below the 11 even. So as that signal line catches up to our stochastic here down at the 0, we know there is still a bit of momentum in this market that can still push. And if we look at our moving averages, 8 is below 21, below 50, which is fantastic, indicating trend is down. Not only that, we've also been able to close below this 155 moving average. So there's no moving average resistance support coming up, only really the levels over here. And that will give us a trigger short below the 100. Just watch the 50 of the monthly. And if we can break below that, we could possibly even be looking at the 60, 38.2, which is all the way down here, other side of consolidation. But for now, if we can just get that trigger short 100, look at this target 61.8.
For sure.
Right, and then I think it's just, opening range. We're going to get to that in a second. So yeah, let's just jump straight into the 1 minute. All right, so here we are. We've got 1 and 5 minute grid, and over here on either side of our two main charts here. And that's, we got our 33 stochastic. We're going to use our extension fibs in here. So just looking at the NASDAQ, we're just going to extend our 1 minute grid from taking it from the highs, basically the highs of the day, which is also the highs of the 5 minute grid. I'm just going to extend it to basically swing low over here, platform time 1419. And on the Dow, we are also taking it from the highs of our 5 minute grid, but our lows are over here, platform time. Actually, let me just double check that. If we look at our stochastic, yeah, we got very close to 0, but we haven't quite hit 0 yet. So I'm going to be watching that stochastic, and I'm also going to be watching this 821 crossover. So the 821 crosses over to the top side, and we keep falling even harder. And we can possibly move the lows of our 1 minute grid. But for now, let's keep them here at 8:51 platform time. Right, and with that, we have 10 minutes to go until we have our opening.
Yeah, 5-minute trend currently down on both markets, 1-minute trend down on both markets as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, with that, we can actually start setting up for putting in some sell stops. We have 9 minutes to go. I'll put one in on each of them. Just watch very carefully. If we do end up taking it, I'll just keep a very tight stop. You know, it can go either way. Either, you know, the opening volatility can give us a very quick TP, or it can go very, 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 very hard against us very quickly.
Yeah. I think we've all experienced that before.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to go for the 5 points. I'm not going to extend these TPs at all. I'd rather play it safe. The Dow, we need to actually watch. Here's the low. That's the first candle. Here's the second candle. This candle cannot break this low for it to be valid. So I'm just putting my sell stop down a little bit. NASDAQ, this is valid. As soon as it hits, it'll be fine.
On the NASDAQ, I don't see any immediate resistance or support coming through on the 5-minute. We've got that 100 of the daily high low, but we've still got a little bit of a way to go. On the Dow, it's the 89 of the daily high low right now.
All right, there you go. It looks like a double bottom. Technically, it was like, I think, half a point higher, this red candle. So it does qualify. There, it's taken myself stop. I'm in. For me, stop on this trade will be swing high. Watch this 89 coming up here on the 5-minute grid.
We've got about 6 minutes to go for opening.
You're so close, eh?
I'm hoping we can see the opening price of the day. It should be okay.
Mm.
It's our last 5-minute candle just before opening.
Oh, there we go, TP.
Oh, there we go. Nice little push there. 2.5 minutes to go for that opening candle. 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, put your seatbelts on. Let's get ready. I'm just going to put sound off for a sec. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to put sound off for a second. I'm going to make a quick cup of tea, and then I'll be back just after we've opened.
100%. I'm in the background as well. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8. On the NASDAQ, we can start looking at a little extension from the swing high to swing low to swing high. It's not valid in the sense of that it's a valid extension for, but we've got more than 8 candles now. I think it is. We've got a 50% retracement there. Very close. And there we go now. It's just a little bit of volatility just before we open. But valid extension flip on the US take now. Still very, very tight level there. Dow's pushing down through the opening price of the day. And there's our opening candle. Sure. Watch for a little double bottom on the Dow. Those about or 0 by 1 minute grid. Let's take this going. Picked up Sammy's bias, our sell stop and hit TP. So we're going to keep trailing our 1 minute grid on the US tech. Dow hasn't broken yet, got very close. And we've broken the 100 level of the daily high low on the US tech now. Finding strong support around that 100 level. Opening price on the US tech now. Ish. With that. That was a trigger on the stochastic, but bloody hell, that moved quick. Yes, tech still pushing down. We've broken the opening price of the day, below the 100, the daily high low. On the weekly high low, we still got a target of the 127 to the downside. Stochastic down through 50 on the Dow is not a valid trigger for a short signal line that's way below the consolidation. The trend starting to change to the upside on the 1 minute Dow. US Tech is still strongly down. So on the US Tech, we're waiting for a low to form and then a 2-candle retracement before we can look at a trend chase sell stop there. The Dow 5 minute trend stop down, so we can't put a long. We can't look for longs just yet until that changes on that system. Doing complete opposites, eh? Yeah. So that candle closed below the 100 on the daily high low US Tech. We're going to watch the risk to reward. We're currently around that 89 level. We've still got 2 minutes, the current 5 minute candle to go. On the Dow, very possible we're going to get another trigger long on the 9 hour. Let's say with setups, it's one of those days where it's a tight range and we might trigger more than once. So for me personally on the 9 hour, if we don't have 100 points or more to first target, it's kind of like one of those days you sit it out. The levels are valid, so on the 1 minute at least we can change that in the smaller time frames. You saw your trade hit target there, Sam?
Yeah. Yeah, I just came back and I was like, wow, this thing is just really has done the most here. On the Dow and the NASDAQ, busy pushing to that top side. 5 minute and 1 minute grid, they actually are the same, you know, as you and I were talking about just now, on the side there. I'm just looking here. We're about to break these highs. So I'm just going to leave it in for now. Sending the lows of my 1 minute grid.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, sorry, actually, yeah, that's fine there.
So watch US Tech, stochastic up through 50. Signal line is below the 50. It's in consolidation, but below the 50.
I'm going to get ready to take that long just for the 5 points on the NASDAQ.
Still playing around that opening price. Yep, there the Dow goes. Five-minute resistance on the US Tech is the 100, the daily high low. We did close below that. Long tail there.
Massive tail. I'm going to extend the highs of my 1 minute and 5 minute grid. And for the 5 minute, I'm actually going to bring up those lows. Yo, check here.
Happy TP on that US tech trade.
Nice, you took it.
TP. What? The US tech. Maybe.
Nice one, Ria.
Sorry, it's a bit noisy, yeah. So we're all shouting over each other. The US Tech 5 minutes, if we do get a moving average cross over to the top side, that 5 minute grid will also move. We've had some huge ranges from these 5 minute grids the last 2 days.
Yeah, yeah, it's been crazy.
The only thing I can see is possible short on the stochastic down, Sam, at the moment.
Yeah, that 33 down 350.
Those 5 minute trends and 1 minute trends are opposite on both markets right now.
The only thing is I'm a little bit concerned about this 50 moving average coming up here.
Yeah.
But I mean, from where we are to that 50 range of 33 points. So if we can, depending on where we enter, I'll only take a 5 point short if I do take the one that the Dow at the moment. NASDAQ 1 minute trend. I mean, we're pushing up, but the moving averages haven't confirmed yet. 5 minutes, the trend is still down here on the NASDAQ.
Above the 100 levels on both markets at the daily high lows again.
I'll put a bit of an extension here. It has basically the same as our 1 and 5 minute grid.
A trigger on the US tech, signal line not in the right place.
Yeah, that one's not valid.
Yes.
On the 51.24.
Some tails on the Dow again.
Yeah, we are. No. It's we pushed up quite hard and now we're pulling back with it, so it's almost expected. But I'm looking here at 51.24 stochastic or 533 separation for a long that is coming up.
We're into our third 5-minute candle since opening. Moving average holding on the 5-minute Dow, 155 in 1 minute.
Yeah, there's a trigger short. Yo, taking it, but bad price, bad price there. Let's see if we're gonna actually get that TP. A lot of volatility in the market at the moment, so I'm just gonna hold. We're not gonna take a stop too soon. If we do stochastic break 61.8, I won't take that as a stop.
We're going to watch for the break of the double bottoms. Trend chaser is still valid there. Trend down on both market graph, both time frames.
Okay, on the NASDAQ.
Yeah.
Let's see if I'm. Oh, I didn't have enough time to put my TP in properly. So I think I got like half a point there.
Same as you.
It's as I unclicked. Yeah, it just took. But it's okay.
Now we just have to wait for that confirmation of the moving average crossover now.
Yeah.
Support coming up 1 minute on, on the Dow as the opening price of the day again.
Extend the lows on a 1 minute grid here on the NASDAQ.
So moving averages on 5-minute Dow is still very messy. US tech is at least starting to find direction, trading in zone 1.
Pushing down nicely. If we keep falling on the NASDAQ, we can get a nice fan on these moving averages.
Yeah.
There's 77% retracements on our extension fib here on the Dow. Break of 100, are we keen to take that long? To the 127 is about 46 points. That's massive. I'll just extend to maybe 15 or so, 10 or 15 points. I don't think I want to try go for all of it, the whole 40-point run. On the NASDAQ, if stochastic breaks 50, that will be a valid trigger. Excuse me, valid trigger long. 33 up through 50, as our signal line is below 50. It is in consolidation, but it is also below the 50 at least. Pushing down below that 44 as well.
Let's take outstanding target of the 127 on the weekly high-low. I'm not quite halfway to that. It's a massive range. quite a valid sell stop there on the US tech. It was starting to set up.
Move this extension fib, measuring the tracement from the top side to the downside, as also stochastic is coming from a significant high point. So we still have enough candles of this whole move, 50% retracement. So I'm going to look break of 0 for a trigger short to that negative 127, otherwise break of 100, which is the same level as the extension fib being here for a trigger long. What's nice is this target here at 127 is just above that double bottom. So on a range of about 35 points, I'll extend my TP for probably about 10 points or so. But if I enter here at 23.6, I'll probably just put my TP here near the 11 of the 1 and 5 minute grid.
And our 1 minute grid has confirmed the change. Sorry, not the grid, the trend on the moving average.
Sorry, I was so confused.
Sorry,
I was like,
looking at my 1 minute grid and I'm talking moving averages. The green has
okay.
Below red.
Okay, no, it's fine. I was really worried there. I was like, oh damn, what am I not seeing? Oh yeah, guys, I'm getting ready to take this short. Sorry, Rena.
No. Yeah, that's it. Okay, bigger time frame support on the US techs, the 77 of the daily high low coming up. 89 on the Dow, that's the daily high low. Possibly going back to 50 moving average on hourly on the US tech.
I'm getting ready to take that short. Watch the double bottom here on the 1 minute. Below the 23.6 of the grid, so that's where I want to take the short, below the 0 here on my extension. Yeah, it's actually I like it when it does that, because then at least I know there is support here, and when it breaks, chances are going to that 127 is better. I'd rather have that than kind of breaks 2-3 points to take the trade, and then you only find out, oh no, there's massive support in. All right, getting ready, guys.
We've got 5 minutes for the opening range.
And I've taken a short, extending my TP. Yeah, just watch there. NASDAQ extending the lows on my 1 minute grid. Expect we could possibly go back to the 50 in 1 minute before we continue to fall.
Tech starting to push.
Yeah, I'm going to take that long here's 33 stochastic out through 50 if we break that level.
Don't see much of resistance on 5 minutes at the moment. Three minutes for our opening ranges. Next 5-minute candle. Resistance 89 on the US Tech daily high low. US Tech the 11 starting to pull away from the 33 stochastic, possible separation.
Yeah, separation threshold coming up here. Dow, we've broken these lows once again, pushing for these shorts. Getting close to my TP here. To this target for now. Oh, and TP.
Nice one.
Thanks, man. I'm going to delete this extension fib for now.
Minute to go for opening range.
Yeah, I reckon we found out 38.2 and not 61. So breaking highs and lows will be very difficult at this point.
And we've got our 5-2 candles, so we've got opening ranges. Thanks, Tim. Still your levels there. Still watching at US Tech for stochastic up through 50. It's breaking. I want to see a break of that little double top level. Aim for 50 moving average. Extension would fail. They're not really giving us the chance for that trend chaser. It's like one candle trace and then we break below.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was talking, and my mic's been off this whole time. And I was going to say, just on the Dow, we're struggling with that as well. You're not giving that chance at all. But for me, stochastics are completely oversold. So, and I'm watching this 11 here for support. That's the level busy bouncing off at the moment.
The US Tech breaking.
Taking that long.
Distance.
Just going to go for the 5 points here on the NASDAQ. Oh, yeah, on the NASDAQ. TP.
So, got that one with you.
Nice.
Sit down now as well. Oh, 5 minute on the Dow, walking around at 155, moving average below the 100, the daily high low. US Tech is finding resistance at that 100 of the daily high low. We're still in consolidation on the opening ranges. Down 9 hours in consolidation. So it's playing around that 50 level. Trend on 1 minute up, but the trend on 5 minute is down on both US Tech and the Dow.
Still 50 on the views of even retracing all the way back to the it's difficult to say.
What number is your US Tech trading on now?
152, 15152.
I got 15154.
Yeah, it's about the same. I can see your price and mine still.
Okay, cool.
It's like an hour to do it again. Stochastic on the US Tech 5 minutes, starting to break the 50 level. Let's see if we're going to get followed through there back to 50 moving average. Just haven't got any setups for longs. Five-minute resistance in the US Tech coming up is the 61.8 to the opening range. We're above the 100 in the daily high low. Bit of a Kafka market, eh? Long wicks and tails still on the 1 minute candles. Let's see how we're struggling with that stochastic follow through on the Dow.
Yeah, on the Dow, it's difficult to say because we have these moments where we push, find support here at 11, for example, nice run and then nothing. On the NASDAQ, I'd be keen to take this 33 down through 50. To be honest, if we can get that push 33 down through the 50 here on 1 minute, I'd be quite keen to take that trade as we're still short on the 5 minute trend, and we haven't actually triggered long on the opening range yet. So for me at the moment, there's a trigger long coming up, separation, about 14 points away from the 60.
That's very close.
Broken up through the 50. I'm waiting for break at the top. If I can break this 61, I'll take that as a trigger to. I'll just go for the 5 points. So I want to basically on 5 points.
Yeah, I've got no really immediate resistance on 5 minutes except for that 61.8, and of course 155 moving average in 5 minutes. Support is the 100, the daily high. So that's what's holding us down at the moment, or holding us up at least.
Yeah, see, and look how hard we pulled back. If we had taken that trade, 43 points would have been against us already. NASDAQ, same situation, pulled back very hard.
Little double top there on the Dow there. Go to the opening price on the US tick, 50 moving average. Put TP on that short. Trend possibly changing again to the downside. 5 minute trend still down. Dow's playing around the opening price of the day. Just below that, we've got opening range low. Well, just below, it's about 30 points below that. And we're still very much consolidated on the bigger time frames on end of day around that 50 level of up fib. That's on the Dow. Back on the US tech. On the Dow, also in consolidation, finding strong resistance of that 61.8.
On the Dow, getting ready for that long 33 up through 50. NASDAQ will basically be able to take that short break of these lows. Just watch, that will be just above the 23 of the 1 minute grid. Right there, it's broken those lows, taking that short, just going to go for the 5 points here on the NASDAQ. So close. The Dow, I don't want to take a short here. I'm not in this 11 by the support. Their TP on the NASDAQ.
Nice one. That's a nice trade.
That's fine. Yeah, got to be careful here. Got to be so careful. Check this almost triple bottom that's busy for me here on the Dow 5 minutes. You can break that, get a trigger short on the opening range. I'd be quite keen to take some shorts.
Yeah, for me, I want to see a break of that, Sam, before I go for the trend chaser, because then at least we've got target levels to aim for as well. We know how strong this level can be. Right on it now. Resticks also got a change in trend to the downside on 1 minute.
Yeah, that's confirmed. Me on the Dow, I don't want to take a short until we break these lows. Even on the trend chaser.
See there. So 11 and 33 on top of each other there on the Dow.
There's the Dow because you're actually getting ready for a trigger long. I'm not taking it. We are too close to this 50 moving average. It looks like, I don't know. I'll tell you guys in a second or so if I should have taken the trade. Once we have a bit of hindsight to look back on it, for now, I'm just going to rather stay out of it.
Oh, the range is still, I mean, the candles are still quite big. I mean, that last candle was
true
40 points or so.
Yeah, that's true. The 1 minute candles are big.
But I think it's a good plan. You're going for the 5.5 point with these long wicks and tails.
Yeah. Just the problem is, you don't know if for example, you're going to catch it just at the tip and then it just misses your TP and then suddenly, you got like almost 100 points against you in 2 minutes.
US tech is valid for a sell stop. Haven't got any immediate support coming up on 5 minutes on the US tech. If that sell stop triggers, still got quite a distance to go to the low of the opening range consolidation, and the 77 of the daily high low, also quite a distance.
And let me actually put one here as well for the NASDAQ.
Oh, you bastard, moved my entry.
Oh, that's more than 5 points. Manually close that one.
You would have had quite a nice run there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I was trying to manually type it in. It just wasn't working. So that's fine.
I still got 5 point, even with it pushing my entry a little bit lower. So you've got quite a nice nice profit there. Now getting close to that low of the opening range again. So the 11 of the 5 minute grid, yes, that's been holding strong support. 5 minute, 1 minute.
Watching as a once again. Entry short on the Dow.
Breaking those lows. Oh, what's called a double bottom there. Four more minutes to see if we can get that trigger short on opening range now. US tech still in consolidation. Time to break the lows of the day.
There we go. Taking a short there. Going to aim for the 5 points.
Let's take this watch. You've got a perfect 89% retracement to that move.
That's our one here. I actually put an extension fib on this.
Body's still holding around that 89 or the 11. Coming up for half past candle. Both down the US tech on daily high lows between the 89 and 77.
They're pulling back very hard. Watch this off this 11 level here. Dow just broke the bottoms and pulled back. We're still giving it some time.
Yeah, for half past.
Last candle. And just bring these lows in. The 1 and 5 minute grid. Just watch for possible trigger short-term opening range.
Yeah, down break previous candle at 5 minute is a trigger on opening range.
it should also give us TP on this 1 minute trade here.
Quite happy to have that one in there. Just think I'm a little bit nervous because we're still in consolidation opening range. We've got more than 5 points between the low, break the low, and the low of the consolidation area, but it's kind of like that no trading zone on the 1 minute grid.
Yeah, no, 100%. I don't want to take that trade on the NASDAQ. I'll rather wait for clear break.
No real momentum in the stochastics, eh? That's zigzaggy.
Yeah, I know you can see that it's not nice, hey? Not a nice market to be trading, actually. This Dow trade, I'm just going to hold out a little bit. You know, it's because of this consolidation and stuff. It's difficult to really make a call to just take a stop. I'm looking a lot at the 5 minutes here, and I see 5 minute trend is still down. I'm going to hold on to that, especially if we do get a trigger short. You know, you can see how in the beginning of the 5 minutes we had this massive green candle, about 40 points, and since then we've recovered of that movement already more than half of it. So I'm just gonna hold out for a little bit longer. NASDAQ, as we were saying earlier, just gonna wait. Here, this is watch 33 down through 533 down through 50 for a trigger short coming up.
5 minute, my preference is to be short. Stochastic trading below the 11. All we want is a trigger now on opening range, so we've got some target levels.
There we are, they're pushing. Yo, nice. And TP there on Dow.
At this point. We've got that trigger short opening range. Nice decent range there for opening range, just over 100 points. US take watch for possibility double bottom of the opening range consolidation. So I'll stop with TP. Oh, and there we go. Some
Yo, on NASDAQ's pulling back hard. Okay. I'm just going to leave the extension flip in there for now so you can see that level of support here at the 0. But our 1 minute grid does start shifting to the downside. Our 1 and 5 minute grids as well. take a look here. Could be retracing back the 50 moving average here on the NASDAQ.
Yeah, this is not easy.
Mm-mm. I didn't want to. Sorry, guys. I didn't mention, but I didn't want to take this 33 up through 50 because the 50 moving average resistance I was coming up. I was just thinking it, but I didn't express it. So sorry about that. But yeah, you can see sort of how that's playing out now. NASDAQ, I want to take this short, the separation coming up here. Just worried about this 11. You can see here how much this 11 has been supporting. Which is exactly why I left these levels in.
Yeah, I'm nervous about 11.
Yeah. I want to wait to see where we are when we trigger on the separation. Otherwise, yeah, I'm looking at that separation for there we are triggered.
Oh, well,
Taken. Yeah, I've taken that trade. Only going to go for the 5 points. You can see my TP's at the low here, so we do need to kind of hit this sort of weird double bottom almost.
I can see on 5 minutes is the 77 of the daily high there.
Yes.
That's what I can see. Hourly, we've got a target outstanding of 127, which is still a long way away. We've still got 50 moving average on the hourly. Sure.
Yeah, see, we're pulling back quite hard. Dow, we're just shooting.
Yeah. I honestly don't like these candles. Yo. Sure. Dow's gone pretty much all the way back to the 50 level of the opening range. 61% retracement of the whole move, so high to low of today within 2 5-minute candles.
Go on NASDAQ, pulling back hard there. I'm gonna get ready to take a stop on this one. Yeah. Oh. Okay, now we're at the 50 moving average. Okay, yeah, there we go, guys. I'm so sorry. Terrible stuff there. Yeah, that's gonna reflect badly on my stats. That's okay. That's happens.
Yeah, Chris, you're right. Possible head and shoulders. It's not perfect. Like a little inverse head and shoulders. It's not 100%, but yeah, the idea is there.
I think if we had a 30-second time frame, it would look a lot better.
Yeah.
All right, here we are, busy pushing it. Watch that 77% retracement. As I take that stop, check how hard this thing comes down.
I mean, I'm looking at the 5-minute candles, Sam. Those wicks and tails are extremely long. And this is what we get. We get these big 1 minute candles and they move so quickly. You've got to be so switched on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to call it there for the afternoon session. So we haven't even triggered on base.
Now, this is a
Call
very
it there.
tough
We'll be back. Yeah, no, exactly. I'd rather. Well, it's funny business while we were away. And then at 8:30 when we're back with later tonight, this thing should improve.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, the ranges are there, but these candles are nasty. Hopefully we'll find some sort of stability at least.